We start each day sleeping in a dream state, often to be awoken by various means, like an alarm clock, the sun, pets, and other people. Yet awake, many of us are still half asleep, torn between the dream world and the normal world we face each day. How do we actually know if or when we're awake? Is it our senses or memory we rely on to tell? In a hypnotic state, people often seem sleepy and zoned out, but in reality, they're in a state of hyper-awareness, but highly suggestible. Advertising, news, entertainment, and religion, for example, prey on people in that state, leading many to do or buy things, vote for politicians, or even take on beliefs without thinking. People have microsleeps at the wheel of a car, not even knowing for brief moments that they have fallen asleep, at least not until they have an accident. The point is that there is so much that we haven't learned, or I suspect will learn, about our minds and bodies, not to mention the spirit. Nevertheless, there is a sense we have to get our mind and bodies going so that we can face the day. Some of us have a cuppa, a smoke, chocolate, or perhaps another kind of pick-me-up. All of this sounds like a struggle with a recalcitrant beast who just won't or doesn't do as it's told. Other people take a different approach, or simply do more. Some stretching or yoga, or maybe a cold bracing shower. Yet is simply becoming functional, being awakened? Google defines awakening as an act or moment of becoming suddenly or otherwise aware of something. More to the point for this discussion, Deepak Chopra says, and I paraphrase, that when you experience life through the ego and are not aware and present in any given moment, then you are not awake. How often has any of us gone about some task or just walked down the street looking forward to a meal, some event, or just meeting a friend, or just fantasizing about or remembering something? Now with social media, how many of us get so engrossed in our mobile or cell phones and tune out to the world around us, no matter where we are? For me, I spent a lifetime watching a plethora of movies. However, let's put this, for you and me, in the context of the chaos of the current times. Whether we choose to pay attention or not, these are the birth pangs of a long-predicted new age, characterized by heightened consciousness, a massive spiritual awakening, and transformation. A seemingly sharp contrast to what I just described. A catalyst for these changes are not just our learnings earned over numerous lifetimes on this earth. That's if you subscribe to reincarnation. But the recent massive shift in vibrational energies, which has been affecting all life on Earth. Incredibly, this shift has already awoken us all, but no one has told us. It's so easy to miss when we are so caught up in our unthinking, habitual way of living. Yet the Earth and its consciousness are experiencing the same thing. and in its own way is telling us loudly to pay attention to some very clear messages. Evidence of these changes and messages are plain to see in climate change, species extinction, political, economic, and social instability, rampaging pandemics, rising reactionary forces of denial, and general chaos the world over. Yet the meaning of these messages is hotly debated, seriously hampered by our limited learning through education, inattentiveness, and lack of awareness, not to mention the self-interest and greed of those who have grown comfortable with their wealth and power at our expense. Our egos and those who profit from our ignorance stoke suicidal fear in response to these changes, because they know that their time is near over. Awakening and awareness are keys to bringing on this new age, which is now within our reach. However, to get there, we must move beyond the romanticized fantasy of being rescued, to accept that it will be our own focus and effort that will bring about this new world. So what is awakening? Awakening engages existing human capacity, giving us hyper-awareness and sensitivity, effectively magnifying and reflecting back upon us how we are as individuals, our personalities, habits, emotions, relationships, and so on, giving us a new perspective on the cause and effect of the choices we make. That awakening opens us to the holistic nature of being and the interrelated and interdependent functioning of our beings, that is, mind, bodies, and spirit, in the context of similarly holistic world. Awakening is a gift, a tool that with awareness will give us the means to take the next step toward the new age. However, with awakening and awareness comes a double-edged sting. These are changes which, like with a broken light switch, cannot be turned off. We cannot go back to sleep. Anyway, do you really want to spend the rest of your life as a fearful victim, struggling to survive against forces over which you seem to have no control? All we have to do is apply persistence and focus to paying attention. Everything else will naturally fall into place. We have been given the means of recognizing how for so long we have been manipulated in a semi-hypnotic state to remain victims in ignorance. Enough is enough. Now with confidence we can finally face ourselves with compassion as to who we are and choose to let go of the old, to be different in a naturally better world. Awoken as we nurture and let awareness take hold, the world will never be able to return to the chaos of today. We can and will do it. My contribution is an offer. In the interim, a simple approach, sound attunement, and most importantly, sound circle group and community support. All are designed to nurture the self-healing and empowerment needed to help us understand and manage ourselves, our personal power, and these changes with deserved and growing confidence. This approach accepts and works with who we are, drawing on the feedback, curiosity, and support of others when things seem to be too much, while actively preparing for a much brighter reality and future. Thank you.